Alright, I'm back. Do you ever get weirded out by cats just staring into the darkness? And you look and you're like, nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. It only weirds me out when it's darkness. Because I know that cats can actually see... Apparently they can see a little bit of like...
Okay.
Quiet, Yuna. They can see a little bit of like, is it UV light or something? The light spectrum that they can see is different than ours. So they can see shit we can't. And I've heard that a lot about, for various pets. Where like, if they're just like staring off at like a blank corner, you're like, what the fuck? It's probably because there's some sort of light thing happening there that you can't see. But when it's darkness, it's creepy, you know? Ferris and Celestine? What are you guys up to? Well, it seems they're all here. We're with the two people holding an unofficial meeting in the racecourse's VIP room. Do you mean... Correct, Marcus Harms and Governor Ricknitz. Though they may be the respective heads of the Noble and Reformers factions, it's not ghosts, so are you quiet? Don't scare me like that. Jeez. Both are highly opposed to the national mobilization, though. The City Hall had no hand in it after all. Right, I'm sure my father tried to stop it as best he could. Even if they agree to work together, it will be difficult to stop whatever's already in motion. But still, we believe this meeting could lead to a breakthrough. Fair, so you seem to be doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Not as much as a lot of you. Now, you should be off. You mustn't let yourself be seen by too many people. I'm like going around talking to the entire city. It's like, don't be seen by too many people. You're trying to be covert, right? Meanwhile, oh, I've filled out a couple of character notes since wandering around the city. What is this? Why are they closed? What do you mean, why are we closed? Martial law's been invoked. I'm not saying I need all the salons to be opened. I just want to pamper, cleanse myself a little, as a way of praying for His Majesty's recovery. Just let me through already. What's Marcus Ballard doing here? If I had to guess, I'd say he doesn't fully understand what's going on. And it's fine, he can't go anywhere right now, so things will eventually sink in for him. My word, I suppose it's fine to just leave him be. I guess I can't go in here. Well, hold on. I can go underneath? I thought I couldn't go underneath. I thought I wasn't allowed down here. What? Is there anything down? There's probably nothing down here. Is there anything down here? Now I need to check. There shouldn't be anything down here. Right? I don't think I said this enough, but thanks for hanging out. I notice when, like, feels like no one's here. I like it when I feel like people are here. You could choose to be anywhere on the internet. You're here. With me. I will make you regret your decision. At least I'm getting CP out of this, even though I could just go recharge at the train whenever I want. I do enjoy hitting these things. And I also enjoy having the items, like, trying to catch up to me when I'm in turbo mode. Okay, there's nothing down here. To the airport. Bam, bam, bam. I can't think of anyone else I haven't met yet. Oh, there was something up there. But I'll do this first real quick. Just patrolling guard. They're all just patrolling guards, aren't they? Oh. Maybe not. Oh. I see Aeon and Ion. What does Robert say? He believes it's due to Ouroboros' 13 factories. Maybe they have infrastructure for stealing information from the Foundation, RF, Vern, and CCF. Professor Schmidt? Tio? Oh, it's you. Hello, looks like your undercover plan worked without a hitch. How did you... Were you able to stop the communication distortions you were talking about this morning? Yes, thanks to Professor Schmidt's assistance earlier. Randy told me about the situation. I'll be in Heimdall for a while, so let me know if I can help you. I see, thank you. Awesome, now we've got Tio on board too? This is huge. Hold on though, backing up a bit. You actually helped them out, Professor? We haven't seen you in a while. What are you doing here? Huh. The government can't tell me where I can and can't go. I heard the Aeon girl from the Foundation was here, so I figured I should meet her for myself. I decided to help stop the communication distortion in order to pass the time. I figured that was the case. He hasn't changed a bit. Why do they give him so much special favor? That's the genius treatment for you. Plus, he's known for refusing to help at all once he gets angry. I suppose it's in the government's best interest to keep him happy, then. Well, I suppose we should be thankful he's cooperating at all. Heimdall doesn't have a normal network, but you can still see plenty of things in the various agencies' communications. I will let you know if there are any developments, including any that have to do with Altina. Please be careful. Thank you. You be careful too, Chief Tio. Side quest? EP? Professor Schmidt, could I get you to take a look at this?
Oh, you have something interesting.
Is it the ore? That shimmer, I could never mistake it. Zemurian ore. Though it's quite rare to find one that shines black like this. Hand it over, I'll take a look. See anything interesting? I'd have to run some analysis on it, but I have heard that there are variant forms of Zemurian ore out there in the world. I'd postulate that this is more durable than normal Zemurian ore, which means I'll have to devise a new method of cutting it. Is that even possible? I never said it wasn't. In fact, I already have a few ideas in mind. I can make a weapon out of it right now if you need. Really? Right this second? It seems I've underestimated you. Yes, you never cease to amaze, Professor. We should strike whilst the iron is hot. But first, for whom shall I be making this weapon? Well, Green first, obviously. I'd like you to make me Itachi. I'll get to work right away. There's an acquaintance of mine at a workshop on Vancouver Street. We'll head there. Sorry for dropping by out of the blue. Think nothing of it, really. Any engineer would consider it an honor to help Professor Schmidt. If you say so. How do you know Professor Schmidt? Professor actually devised my father. He devised my father. He was a student. So I had the connections to get accepted to the Institute of Technology. I remember helping with things that had nothing to do with my training, but they're all good memories. The professor really abuses the people around him. Yeah, we're certainly no exception. It's done. Already? Quick job as always. Now take this. Yatabusa! Wow, what a masterpiece. I have to say, Professor, your craftsmanship is incredible. I'm not an engineer, but I can still appreciate all you put into your work. Oh, quit being a sap. And loath as I am to admit this, much of the work is only possible thanks to the groundwork Albert laid out. It would have taken much longer without him. Isn't Professor Albert Russell? He's done a lot. I've wondered before if he was behind the recent method of purifying Zemirian ore. Do you know if that was also him? Indeed it was. I believe he discovered it during all those strange happenings in Liberal. A discovery of circumstance and not of true genius, as it were. You don't see him acting this competitive every day. Professor Russell must be a remarkable man. About this black Zemirian ore, by my observations, it is a byproduct of Zemirian ore after having changed by way of some outside factor. That's for sure? Only speculation. But even if the ore itself isn't fully understood, the method of purifying it is. All relevant data has been sent to the Institute of Technology and published. Any old workshop should know the method by now if you want to make a weapon. Good to know. You sure was quick on that front? That will do. I'll be returning to my work now. Did I get AP for that? I'm pretty sure I had more than one. Or did I have fragments? I could have sworn I had more than one. Forgot I had these. More bonding! Excellent. Oh snap. It's a shame the special bonding event stuff is already over though. Wait, yeah, I have 3 shards. How many shards do you need for a full chunk? Wait. Where do I go to like make a full piece? I gotta find one of those trading places then. I assume 3 shards will make a whole Zemirian ore and then I can make another weapon. I assume. And that's just the weapon and armor. Where was the trading place in Heimdall? I don't think it was here. Maybe I should just talk to them. Where were the ladies? Where were they at? They weren't in the Herschel's store, were they? That doesn't make any sense. Oh no, it was in this cafe, right? No. The tavern? Yeah. There we go. Exchange.
Wanna buy something? Come on, buy some more. I got some good stuff.
Good stuff. There we go. Give me that fucking ore. Oh, I can just make shards with U materials? They really made it possible for you to just grind in a single playthrough if you really wanted to. Which is kind of nice.
I got some good stuff.
It's nice to have that option.
Done already?
The question is, who gets weapon number 2? Probably Yuna, because I use her the most. She's always going to be a part of the party, so... Because her order is just so OP. So maybe I'll just do Yuna's. Yeah, I'll do Yuna's. This is Yuna's stuff, right? Well, I've made it. It's too late now. Okay, good. Alright. It wasn't even that much higher than the weapon I had, so... Just double check there's no extra... dialogue? I'm also gonna check with Aurelia to see if I can... See if I got any AP for that. Before I double check the highway. We're almost ready to go to Sanct. Almost.
The highest rank. Marvelous.
Yes. Teacher of the Year.
Here's your reward.
Look at that. Fuck yeah. What are you ripping for?
I look forward to next time.
Were you hoping I'd fail? How dare you? CP plus 10 every turn? Holy shit. This is only plus 4. Okay, hold on. Who's the best person for this? Elliot's a good defensive one. Who is the best? I guess just Yuna. She has the highest attack. Aside from Rain. And he's gonna stay with what he has. Yeah, she's got a good reason to have gladiator stuff as well. It's kind of the true one. I kind of want to give the thing to somebody, but... No, everyone's got good stuff. Although this one is very unnecessary, actually. This will allow... I mean, I don't have to keep Elisa. I have all these people who I really want. Pretty good though. She has like a shining and a heal and a KO and a... She's got decent crafts. Yeah, we'll do this. Alright, that's just a little bit of everything. But then loses a bunch of immunities. I just want to see if there's another like 100 arts one, but not really. Alright then. double check the cemetery. Ah, good. I don't think there's gonna be anything here. Oh, apparently there is. God damn it.
Let's go!
Yeah.
A daunting foe. Let's test our might.
What is that hanging on to?
What a
Why is this
passionate
here?
foe.
No one said anything about a giant tarantula queen. A con gem. Alright.
Let's go.
This is why we have immunity. Because of bullshit like that. Divine
Resonate.
Song.
Divine song formation. Ha!
Thank you. All right.
Who else is good? Got good casts? I suppose Elliot might.
You got this.
I'll do my best.
What was it week 2? Oh, a little bit of everything. Na.
There!
I'm going.
It's alright. But she has no EP. Oops. This one's a chance to seal, I guess.
There.
I'll handle this.
I'm going.
I'm up. Yeah.
My turn.
Alright, cast over.
Right.
Now. Sorry.
Leave it to me. Take this. Yes.
First petrify. Charm? 5% charm. I don't even think it's gonna help. He has no allies.
Azure wings, shoot!
An opening. It's off balance.
Keep it up. Here I go. Break through. Sledgehammer. Here I go. Take this.
I'm up. Roar. Heal it now.
It's mine. I'm going.
Let's swap for
I'll leave it to you.
Leave it to me.
a Curty Kurt.
I'll handle this.
Broke them. I wish I had more BP.
Let's go. Raging fire
My
formation.
turn.
Unit can accelerate. I'd rather her do that.
Now.
Too slow.
Behold. Just now. Radiant Phoenix Blade.
Very well.
That did a lot of damage.
There.
An opening.
I don't think I need to accelerate.
Behold the duel now. I'll end it. Ha! Ragnar, strike! Now, let's continue onward.
Yeah, I did it. I grew a little.
I must train even more.
I wonder how far I can go. How many random enemies? Wait, I didn't see any. I wasn't looking for like red circles. There weren't any red circles in the sewers, were there? Also, it's saying completed like I knew these things were here. Like what? Just seeing them on the map, like... Was I supposed to talk to, like, Agate again or something? You'd be like, oh yeah, there's a list of shit going on if you want to help.
Looks like a toughie. Stay on your toes.
Okay, let's check the west. Can't go to the villa. It's probably just gonna turn me around at the end of this road as well.
I see a powerful enemy.
Yeah. Well, I got a few. Who had the profiles? I got a few more profiles. So I'm gonna check. Maybe that's enough? Maybe? No, you were battle. Where the hell were the profiles? Oh yeah.
Let's
Dang. Alright. Oh, hold on. I may as well hand this monster in.
I look forward to next time.
Of course, I've maxed both things out, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore, but... Alright, forward we go.
The Heimdall Cathedral.
It feels oddly quiet around here. Let's go inside after we've finished any other business we have.
Looks like the NPC is completely closed. Well, they basically declared war with them after all. We have to accept that diplomatic relations have been severed completely. I wonder if the other officials still here will be deported as well. Oh, and that clerk. They've really done it. That means the government is serious. That means we have to be ready for anything. There's nothing left for us here. We need to go forth and find our way. Snap. Alright, okay, Elise. Sorry for asking you to do this. I'd do anything for Reen's sister. Depending on what Elisa does, we may be family soon. Sheesh. Grandfather? Reen? Oh, you're here. Welcome. This is quite a spectacle. Imagine sitting in a room and like 20 people walk in. Like, that's pretty overwhelming. Reen, Muse, everyone, thank goodness you're all okay. I just heard about your situation from these two. I see. You must have come here because you were worried about Instructor Reen. I won't deny it, but I was also hoping to get a hold of the princess. That's certainly worth the worry, especially considering what happened yesterday. Father was, and right before our eyes, too. Not to mention that speech her younger brother gave yesterday, or today. Hey, Fee. I talked to the two of them outside earlier. I had the opportunity to meet Elise during the inspections in Crossbell. I had my people connect with the communication department at the Imperial Palace. They're not very security conscious, so it should work out. I suppose we did just finish with the communication system in Flame Palace. It will be hard to do so directly, but that should be a good way to get a hold of her. I'm about to contact them now. If things go well, you can talk to her. I was surprised to hear that Gwen and Chairman Irina were contacting me, but I never thought it would be Elise along with Reen and the others. Princess, I'm glad I could get to see your face. His Majesty, how is he? There haven't been any updates. He's still in critical condition. But this morning, the medical college brought in a famous doctor. Is that the doctor who treated Sharon? The medical equipment is currently being delivered. They just came this morning on a Rhineford high-speed plane. He should be fine. I heard that doctor is really talented. Everything will be okay, Princess. Considering Ash is one of my classmates, that isn't an easy thing for me to say. That's true. I understand that something was off with Ash. My mother has calmly come to her own conclusions, so please don't worry about that. More importantly, I heard that Altina and Milliam are missing, and Cedric's speech. Princess? I've decided to leave here and return to the girls' school. Huh? But why, Princess? I was worried about my mother, but she told me to take care of whatever I need to take care of. Now that Cedric's given his speech, I want to see how things are outside the palace. That's very commendable of you, Princess. It's probably best for you to see the situation for yourself. Indeed, but please have someone escort you. Your safety is imperative. But please don't worry, I'll have my finest guards accompany me. At least let's meet at the hotel. I should be there in an hour. Very well, I shall be waiting. Please be careful. Thank you for your understanding what Ash is going through. Sure, thanks. Let us take care of things. Ash's behavior, the Chancellor and Prince Cedric's speeches, and the imminent war with Calvard. We'll find out who's pulling the strings behind Ereboni and get our peaceful world back. Instructor, the same goes for me, Princess. The Inspectorate won't tolerate this either. We will also find whatever it was that dragged your brother into this. You can count on us. Of course, thank you, everyone. Well then. Where's Schmidt? He hasn't come back since he left for the airport. Sheesh, I was hoping I could talk to him about Prince Oliver's consultation. Is something going on? I heard you received some documents 2 days ago. Yes, he's come up with a new idea. Oh well, he'll probably come back once he gets hungry. The fuck is that about? I'm concerned about the Emperor's condition. We'll have to put our faith in Professor Salin for the medical college. Medical college! I'm sure the princess feels a lot better after speaking with everyone. Prince Oliver has been out since this morning, and... oh yeah, he made some comments on the radio. It seemed like he was trying really hard to calm everyone down. I heard the Viscount and Toval boarded the Courageous. You see, I'm sure that would put the princess more at ease. Please be careful, don't let the guards find you. You too, at least. Take care. Mother, what's up with Sharon? She hasn't been back since she left this morning. What of it? Lisa? I know that being an outsider is not my place to say this, but... no, you're not an outsider. She did, after all, tell you about her past. Huh? When she helped me in Crossbell. She told me to tell you if anything happened to her. So that's what they're talking about. They did look really serious. You must know why he knows about her past, but you don't. But you must know why he knows about her past, but you don't. Do you not? I understand, I'm still unreliable. To Sharon, I'm nothing but a burden. But I've kept the 4th Development Division running this past year. I've launched projects that even you don't know about, Mother. You must know that they exist, but you don't know any of the details, do you? That's... well, of course, after all, you made it ORF's rule that every division be independent. So I, not as Irina Rhineford's daughter, but as chief of the 4th Development Division, Elisa Rhineford, feel that I have been doing my job. Our positions might be different, but as equal employees, I'm not going to rely on you for this. I will discover the truth of my own. Not to mention, she isn't too far. Honestly, you do realize that that's some big talk for someone who only has a year of experience, right? Yes, but grandfather told me you were like this when you were younger too. You met father while your work had stalled. What a loudmouth. Elise, are you sure about this? I can just tell you what Sharon told me. Thanks, but now's not the time. I'll find Sharon and ask her myself. That's the spirit. Don't be given things, take them for yourself. Ah, she's so cool. Do as you please. You will see that this current situation is far more dire than you know. Alright, have a good night, Saryu. But see for yourself with your very own eyes and don't you dare look away. Understood. That goes for all of us, including Elisa. Now I feel like I should go talk to Schmidt one more time. The Imperial Defense Force. It's just as Elise said. If Elise and the Princess are returning, then they need to prioritize security. That's true, let's leave it to them. Okay, we're probably gonna run into Sharon at some point. I'm pretty confident she's not betraying us or doing anything for our burrows. Okay, you got nothing. Okay. Okay. Sharon will probably show up with like, oh, I'm here to help everyone. It'll probably take, the game is saying it'll probably take a while. That means it's gonna be like an hour long. All additional challenge elements will end. I'm gonna separate save just in case. I'm pretty, like, I maxed out the AP thing and the side thing. I didn't get all the profile notes, but there's no way of doing that. And I basically did everything else as far as I know, so. I, got all the recipes, I got all the fish. There's a Black Records thing still going on, but I didn't see Rosine or Thomas anywhere, so maybe they're here. Maybe they're one of the ones we need to talk to. No one's here? How can this cathedral be completely empty?
So, you've arrived at last.
Uh-huh. Oh. From the Leaf's Chapel. Sister Rosine? I had heard rumors, but... Wait, so what Gaius and Emma were talking about? Well, I was somewhat expecting you to show up here. But your main objective is different, right?
Yes, it's good to see you all again. Please, come in. They're waiting for you just over there.
Beyond Thomas, I have no idea who we're meeting.
Ah, I'm glad you all finally made it. The church has decided this issue now merits the attention of the Congregation for the Sacraments. As such, the Archbishop and all the staff here have been moved to another location.
Huh? You're... Oh, I get it now. Huh? You're that former instructor from Thor's main campus. Thomas?
Thank you for all your diligence, Rosine. I'd feel much better if you were to stand watch over the front door now, just in case.
Yes, understood. Leave it to me.
Ah, that's where I've seen the medallion. It's right there. I must have seen it with like Kevin or Reese or something. The third game. The third Sky game. What was that all about? Yes, this was pretty shocking to us too.
Let me introduce you. This man is a member of the Gralsritter, a division of the Septian Church. He's the second in command, in fact. Thomas Lysander. He holds the seat of Second Dominion and is sometimes known by his title, the Partitioner.
Why do I feel like that was mentioned in Sky the Third? Gralsritter? They're an armed knight organization that is run by the church. I'd heard that female terrorist S was once among their ranks. Wait a minute. Guys, does this mean... Are you...
Now allow me to introduce you. This man is one of the Gralsritter's 12 Dominion.
Oh, dang.
The successor to the 8th Dominion. Gaius Warzel.
Which Dominion did Kevin have? But why? Is this why we couldn't get a hold of you for the past 6 months?
Yeah, a lot happened all at once. After graduating from Thors, I returned to Nord and began observing the struggle between Erebonia and Calvert. However, I began to feel something dark and sinister carried on the winds of the plateaus. I consulted my father and the chief, and eventually my old teacher, Father Barkhorn, came to visit. You might remember the name. He was the traveling priest we chased after during the Civil War.
I don't remember this guy.
But it turns out, he was also the 8th Dominion of the Grolsritter, with the title the Roaring Lion. He was an extremely skilled knight who investigated the Salt Pale in Northumbria and trained Brigadier General Bardius. Apparently, he was worried and came to Nord to check up on me. He explained to me that what I had been sensing was called the Gale of Ruin.
Okay. I'm looking at Kevin. He's Dominion number 5. He's called the Heretic Hunter. That's right. That's right. Okay.
I'm not sure why I'm able to sense it. Maybe it's because I'm a descendant of those who fought alongside the Lionheart Emperor. I mentioned this to him and he came to a realization. But then it happened. A Calvardian ship that broke past the 7th Armored Division attacked my village. My father was away at the time. I fought back in an attempt to protect my family, but it was no use. Right as I prepared myself for death, my teacher threw his huge body in the way to protect me. And as he lay there dying, he passed his stigma onto me. Across the nearly 1,000-year history of the Grolsritter, its highest-ranking members have each borne one of 12 sacred markings. This was one of those markings.
The Roaring Lion? I've heard that name many times. He saved many people who were affected by the disaster in Northumbria. Yes, among the current Dominion members, he was the most veteran. And after the stigma was passed to Gaius, I took him to the holy city of Arteria, where he received knight training, hence his half-year of silence. I see. But that's what was happening. You should have told us. Yeah, we could have helped you. It's okay, everything happened so quickly. I did everything I had to do and finished my knight training. Last month, Eustace was finally able to reach me. The power that I've received from my master, with it I will save the Empire, my second home, as a member of Class 7. Ah, Gaius. Sheesh. You've always been so grand and reliable. Thank you, Gaius. Please lend us your strength. Yes, I will give you my all. Seeing someone like him puts us under even more pressure. Yeah, the gap isn't just in age or experience. This group certainly has become awfully formidable. Not really. We're still training just as much as you guys. I have a ways to go before I reach the heights of my predecessors, and speaking of which...
Grandmother! Stop hiding! Come out already!
You're the one who called us here in the first place, aren't you?
I only hid myself so as not to interrupt your discussion.
Ah. You're Emma's grandmother. The elder of the witches Rosalia, was it?
Indeed. But you may simply call me Rose. I had you all gather here for one reason. To explain to you the background between the Hexen clan and the church.
I see, so that's how it is. But aren't the witches opposed to the church?
It's not as though we don't believe in Adios. There have been some differences in opinion over the years, but we and the church have worked together on a number of occasions.
For example, during the War of the Lions, or the vampire incident in the Middle Ages. Not to mention the fight against the Dark Dragon 800 years ago.
But all that was just Rose sticking her nose into other people's business.
Huh? Wait, so you were involved in all that?
Legend has it, Emperor Dreikel's camp was once visited by a good witch. And the novel Red Moon Rose features a vampire hunter affiliated with the church who was, in truth, the true ancestor of the vampires. The woman you now see before you was both of these people, even if she looks a bit different.
How old are you exactly?
800 or so. However, you should know that my situation is somewhat unique. All other witches are normal humans. Except, of course, for the fact that they are all descendants of those who once guarded the Septarian of Fire.
Septarian of Fire? It's the same as the Areoli of Liberal, the Great Tree of Crossbell. Septarions, the 7 gifts bestowed on humanity by Adios. It said that they were all lost during the Great Collapse 1200 years ago. They're the things Ouroboros has been trying to get their hands on all this time. Yeah, now for the main topic. It's crazy to think that it's entirely possible to have an entire arc of games for each Septarion. And this is number 3. That's kind of nuts. Although I'm pretty sure there was, hold on, there's older Legends of Heroes stuff. I need to look into that. Now where to begin? Grandmother, we don't know anything beyond this. Don't leave out any details, make sure you explain it fully. I second that request, I don't know the details either. Let's see. Rosalia, perhaps we should take turns talking. Very well, that will suffice. I'm sure you've noticed by now, but there is a front and back to this empire. The spirit veins are directly affected by the turbulence of the government in war, and that causes cryptids and powerful monsters from other planes to stir. That explains it then. As the Empire's territory spreads, so will they. The Pleroma Grass and Magic Knights. Where did they come from in the first place? Well, to begin, Pleroma Grass is a mana grass from the higher planes. It once served as the eyes and ears of the Septarion of Mirage. Normally it's blue, but after the incident in Crossbell it all vanished. That is until after Crossbell became part of the Empire, at which point it began reappearing in this new scarlet shade. The implications are rather chilling. It changed color to match the Infernal Castle, perhaps? There is undoubtedly a connection. As for the Magic Knights, you may have heard before, but they are golems from the Dark Ages. They were created by mages of the Empire to fight against the Divine Knights. During the Civil War, something caused them to stir once more, and they now appear in Crossbell via the Spirit Path. No way. That would also explain the increased incidents with cryptids recently. What about the Society? The Phantasmal Blaze plan? They sought to use Crossbell's false phantasm to awaken the blaze in Erebonia. At least that's what I heard. Seriously? So that's their plan. Where did you hear that? Well, last night I heard it from the Chancellor himself. He told me some other intriguing things too, but I feel like he intentionally left out some of the more important details. I see. I heard you talk to him, but it seems Ouroboros' work in Crossbell 2 years ago was to bring about some kind of change in Erebonia. Just so you know, Crossbell's Mirage Septarion was an artificially created fake. It was stronger than the original, but the Society had no interest in it. Were I to hazard a guess, their goal is to acquire the 2 treasures that originally existed here. The Septarians of Fire and Earth that once called the land of Erebos home. Septarians of Fire and Earth. So Liberal had the Septarion of Space, Crossbell the Septarion of Mirage, but Erebonia had 2 Septarions. Hold on a second. I mean, if the witches are the descendants of the people who guarded the Septarion of Fire... Yes, and the Black Workshop and the gnomes are the same people. Ah. The descendants of those who guarded the Septarion of Earth. There are counterparts, much like the Royal Elsless family of Liberal and the Croy family in Crossbell. In addition, you may be aware that each Septarion has its own holy beast assigned to watch over it. Liberal had an ancient dragon, Crossbell had a divine wolf, and as it had 2 Septarions, Erebonia had 2 holy beasts as well. However, after the Great Collapse, each of them vanished alongside the Septarion they were to oversee. That's the core of the issue. two Septarions, the two groups of people who worship them, and the two holy beasts. Septarions and holy beasts disappeared and the people changed their names. What happened in Erebonia 1200 years ago? Allow me to reveal to you the truth behind the land of Erebos. There's also a thing. Osborne mentioned a combining of things to make the Great One, which is the thing we fought twice? Anyways, this story still relies on a modicum of speculation. Please keep that in mind. Will do.
In the beginning, this land housed two of the Septarian.
In the beginning.
The Arc Rouge, Septarian of fire and wielder of fierce power. The Lost Zem, Septarian of earth and bearer of unyielding endurance. Each assumed the form of a colossal guardian and went about granting boons and performing miracles for its people. For a few centuries, the land of Erebonia prospered. But eventually, its people began to vie for power and control. The Septarians had always granted their people's wishes. But now, their peoples each wished for the other's destruction. And so, the two colossi began fighting. Their battle ravaged the earth and split the sky, devastating the entire region. The humans tried to stop them, but it was in vain. The Septarians' fight continued 1,000 days, scorching the land black. When the battle ended at long last, it was a tie. Exhausting their power in one final strike, the two Septarian were blown away, left as nothing but empty shells.
We've seen both of these, right? The empty
Yet
shells?
the tale did not end there.
One's on that island.
The power expelled by each Septarian collided and became one, resulting in the creation of an entirely new entity.
The Great One.
The Great One.
Aha.
The Septarian of Steel. It was an existence created from the union of fire and earth. It was beyond anything else in this realm. It was the ultimate source of power. Though things seemed fine at first, the survivors of the war soon realized the eternal conflict within it. They knew this conflict would cause it to grow ever more unstable, and that it was not something that could be handled by mankind.
With the Holy Beast's assistance, the kins of fire and earth joined together to see the Great One sealed away. However, each of their attempts ended in failure. Left with no other options, they resorted to their final plan. The Great One would remain whole in the higher plane, yet its physical incarnation in this world split into numerous shards. It was this final gambit that saw disaster averted.
Indeed, their combined efforts bore fruit. The kin of Earth created 7 vessels, while the kin of Fire split the Great One's power and infused each vessel with a part of it.
7 dolls in the form of knights, each bearing the Great One's power, the Divine Knights.
Wow. That is beyond fathomable. I was told about this in bits and pieces, but saw that happen 1200 years ago? That wasn't a fairy tale, right? At the very least, something similar happened. So what happened after that? And why did Valimar and the other Divine Knights start fighting? This is as far as the story that was passed down goes. So the Kin of Fire became the Hexen clan, and the Kin of Earth became the Gnomes. They split the unstable ultimate power into 7, then both sides decided to watch over the reconstruction after the Great Collapse. Oh, and by the way, many people from each kinship have since abandoned their roles. They joined together, started accepting people from the surrounding area, and created the foundation of what became Erebonia. This was around the same time the Septian Church was spreading across Erebonia. 300 years passed, and the Arnor family established the city of Heimdall. That's when the disaster of the Dark Dragon occurred.
900 years ago, Heimdall was a small city of only about 50,000 people. However, it was one of the burgeoning centers of culture for the region. The Septian Church had finished construction on the Heimdall Cathedral, and there were plans to develop the city even further. But it was then the Dark Dragon appeared, blanketing Heimdall in miasma and transforming it into a city of the dead. Emperor Astorius chose to lead his people south and made St. Arc the new capital of Erebonia.
In helping Emperor Astorius deal with this crisis, the Hexen clan and gnomes each suffered substantial losses. The Hexen clan lost its elder, and the gnomes their holy beast. And so ended their alliance. The final time they spoke would be a century later. It was when Emperor Hector awakened the Vermilion Knight to reclaim Heimdall from the Dark Dragon. He did so at the urging of the chief of the gnomes and the new elder of the Hexen clan, myself. However, the Emperor fell to the Dark Dragon's miasma, and the Vermilion Knight to its curse. The Emperor's son had the chief of the gnomes and myself seal the cursed knight deep below the Imperial Palace. That would be the last act our two clans performed together. I do not know why, but the gnomes cut off contact with our clan and hid themselves away. In the 800 years that followed, whenever war struck Erebonia, a divine knight would enter the stage, demonstrate its might, then vanish. I was certain the gnomes were involved, yet all we could do was guide awakeners on the proper course. This unending pattern reached its most fevered peak 250 years ago during the War of the Lions. The false Emperor Orthros unearthed the cursed Vermilion Knight, and a mercenary under Prince Lucius' employ awakened the Palatinate Knight.
That one's mine, right? The Palatinate?
Prince Dreichels found the Ashen Knight.
Oh no.
And Leanne, the Argent Knight.
Never mind. Balamar, the Ashen Knight.
The four awakened at once, made for a grand war indeed.
Oh, so that's how things connect. There's so many parts of this story I want to question, but... So Emma's grandma was around during the War of the Lions. A good witch. I've read about them in fairy tales. As the prince's guide, I accompanied the Dreichels' camp. Oh, I remember those days. It used to be quite the beauty. All I mean to say is that the art depictions of me are not inaccurate. As I stated earlier, the elder of the witches isn't a normal human. So you've been watching over the clan after becoming an immortal being. Yes, however, I only came into existence 800 years ago. My predecessor perished soon afterward, and I do not have many memories from before that point. So naturally, there are things that I still do not know. There are things that you do know about. Just how you said the maiden Leanne was the awakener of the Argent Knight, and whether or not she is Ouroboros' Steel Maiden. That's true, you could confirm so many things. It is her, of that much I am certain. She was the daughter of a count who met the Wandering Prince and later challenged the apocalypse, only to lose her life. However, before that happened, it was I who guided Leanne to become the Argent Awakener. But Leanne knew her powers were too great, so she kept them hidden away. It was only during her battle with the apocalypse that she unleashed her full might. In the end, however, she was fatally injured and passed away after the war. Then, half a year later, I witnessed her revival, along with your ancestor, or Sade, second in command of the Eisenritter. So that's why. Were you the one who revived them, grandmother? Yeah, that's what I'd like to know, too. After Leanne passed, I thought it strange how her body did not rot. So I took her body back to the village, and half a year later, she simply woke up. I assumed she had become an immortal, though I could not say when or how. Leanne realized what was happening to her, so she left Erebonia to walk the earth without even telling her love Dreichels. She left Legram to Arcade, her right-hand man. I occasionally met with her whenever she came around, but the last time was 20 years ago. That's when she met Ouroboros' Grand Master, who brought her into the fold. Thank you for sharing this. There's some things that can't be overlooked. Yeah, we've seen too many incredible things over the last few months. So the boss and Crow were both... As I said earlier, we have no idea what specifically happened. I think the key is the Divine Knight. The Jaeger King was not an Awakener when he was alive. On the other hand, Dreikels was an Awakener, but he did not become immortal. He has remained dead. That's right. Instructor Reen isn't immortal, is he? Alright, he's still been growing since graduating. Yeah, I may have some weird powers, but I've definitely aged. Is there a common reason? I believe there are only two people who know the truth, the current Chancellor Gileath Osborne, and the Chief of the Gnomes, Black Alberic. So that's the leader of the Black Workshop. Yes, though I do not believe he is an immortal like me. The leadership of the Gnomes is somehow passed down from one to the next, in order for them to achieve their goal of bringing about the Great Twilight. Great Twilight? This is the first I've heard of it, but... Is that the fairy tale of the end that Vita was talking about? Yes, 800 years ago, as we were going our separate ways, that is what the Chief of the Gnomes told the Prince and me. It was as if he was foretelling a future where everything ends. Wait, it's much too similar to the direction the Empire is heading. Let me add to this. The reason Barkhorn and I were in Erebonia was because we discovered an anomaly. The spirit veins were being distorted all over the continent, and the source seemed to emanate from the Empire. It was like a ripple effect. The incidents in Lobrol and Crossbell, as well as the civil war in Erebonia, only served to further increase the distortions. They continued to get larger after Crossbell and Northumbria were folded into the Empire, and larger again when the cryptids and magic knights of Erebonia appeared in Crossbell. On the other hand, Pleroma grass, which is native to Crossbell, started blooming in the Empire. If the Great Twilight really is about to happen, then all of this seems to be an omen of things to come. Who is this Albrecht person? He uses the Masked Man as his agent and hired the Jaeger King, who is supposed to be dead. Are there other gnomes out there? Well, your dear rabbit friends may technically count, but besides the Masked Man, their leader seems to have at least one other acting agent. I cannot say who this person may be, but it would seem they are a talented craftsman at any rate. Oh, and before you jump to conclusions, I'm not speaking of that little brat Schmidt. It would seem the person I speak of possesses a different kind of genius than he does. It's George. A talented craftsman? It's putting some unpleasant ideas in my head. In any event, Albrecht and the Chancellor are probably connected. And it's unlikely to be through the Intelligence Division or his children. With the incidents of last night, things may have already been put in motion. Oh. Why do you say that? Last night, we finally decoded the Black Records that you found the other day. Oh, the Black Records are a collection of a particular type of artifact sometimes found in Erebonia. I was actually exchanging information about them with Reen. Really? When did that happen? Right before all of you graduated, he revealed his true identity to me. He told me not to tell anyone. I hope he don't hold it against me. Father Thomas. Sheesh, you probably took advantage of Reen's sense of responsibility, didn't you? Oh, well, I can't deny it. In any event, this is what the updated Black Records said.
When the sacrifice is made and the ancient blood flows, the path to the Grawl of Erebos shall open.
Well, that's Ash and the Emperor.
When the tainted holy beast is pierced by the blade of World's End, and its blood fills the Grawl, the Great Twilight shall fall upon the land.
Well, that part hasn't happened yet, I don't think. The timing is too perfect. It's as if the prophecies were written about our current situation. If the ancient blood is referring to the Emperor, then is the sacrifice referring to Ash? What about the Grawl and the blade? The Grawl is probably related to the Septian Church, and the tainted holy beast. Father Thomas, could that be... Yes, as was stated earlier, Gaius. There is a sacred place beneath this cathedral, the Primal Ground, a facility that was designed to play a major role after the Great Collapse. 900 years ago, when Heimdall was shrouded in darkness, it retreated beneath here and disappeared. Disappeared? I heard about such a facility in Liberal. Yes, there is one beneath the Gransel Cathedral in Liberal, too. However, when Heimdall was retaken, the space beneath the cathedral was buried by rock. But what if it didn't disappear and simply transferred somewhere else instead? Ah, so it still exists? The holy beast mentioned in the prophecy is likely the holy beast of Earth. As I said before, it disappeared after the disaster 900 years ago. It is only speculation, but I believe the dark dragon you faced the other day was merely a servant of the true holy beast. Wait a minute. Are you saying that the dark dragon wasn't the cause of everything? Though it was indeed a powerful cryptid, it was not something the witches and gnomes could not take care of together. If the holy beast gave birth to the dark dragon and is still alive somewhere, where else could it be but the Primal Ground? All the conditions set forth in the prophecy are lining up. This has got to be a joke. Regarding this blade of World End that defeats the holy beast, in other scriptures it is called the Originator Zero. I'm speculating that it's a special weapon created by the Black Workshop. What, the world? At the very least, it probably isn't anything like what the boss uses. Do you think it... Is that what Altina and Milliam are? If they, like, fuse them together, they become the Blades of World End or something? Is that what's happening? Or just their combat shells? Maybe not them specifically. What if it's just their combat shells? Do you think it's made of Zemirian ore, like the weapons used by Divine Knight? That would seem most likely.
Muse?
Is something the matter?
Oh?
You realize something?
Right now, we need any straw we can grasp at.
Anything at all could help, no matter how small.
Yes, you're right. That term. Originator Zero. Could that be OZ, perhaps?
That's what the Black Workshop called Milliam and Altina.
They're model numbers. OZ.
What are you talking about?
So you finally made it.
That voice.
Vita! Ah, so the prodigal granddaughter returns.
Misty, Vita.
I heard you had been acting on your own. Nice to see you again, Grandmother. Emma, Celine, and Class 7, too. And thank you for mediating, Mr. Lysander.
Oh, don't even mention it. It always breaks my heart to see a family torn apart so.
Vita! Why? You really don't plan on ever coming back, do you?
That's correct. As I said before, my allegiance will forever lie with the Grandmaster. I can't return to you and Grandmother. I can never go back to the way I used to be. Just like the Steel Maiden.
Seriously, who even is this Grandmaster person?
I have no clue. But it is clear she is quite taken with them. So do tell, Vita. If you have not decided to return to us, why show yourself now? Has Ouroboros finally decided upon its course of action?
Yes. After our experiments with the 3 ions, the 6 other Anguis came to a unanimous decision. They decided to ignore my warning. They will work with the Chancellor and the Gnomes to bring about the Great Twilight, completing the Phantasmal Blaze Plan.
That's...
So that's how it is. The reason Ouroboros was so quiet the past month wasn't because they left Erebonia.
It was to carry out their plan, and determine whether they should work alongside enemies and traitors.
How can that be? If that were the case, it means...
They're all our enemies?
Is this?
It's not the cathedral's bell.
Huh? I think I recognize it from Crossbell.
Someone they took from the museum.
You do?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
I remember hearing it right before the incidents in Crossbell, when we were still independent. Oh! The one from the museum!
The bell from Stargazer's Tower?
But the sound's coming from a different direction than the museum.
The Phantasmal Blaze Plan. What a fitting name. I wonder how much of this she foresaw.
That is quite enough mumbling to yourself. If you know what is going on, show us!
It'll be a bit tough without Grianos. I'll need your help, Grandmother. Emma, Celine, you too.
Yes!
Ugh, I'm not your slave.
Vita is complex. She's constantly against us, but also constantly helping us at the same time. Oh. I see Sharon. Sharon, don't betray us, no. Man, they're all here, except for Angelica. Where's Angelica?
Now then, let's say we celebrate the continuation of the Phantasmal Blaze Plan by ringing in the Great Twilight. I, Enforcer number 0, the Fool, shall play the opening note.
Oh. So the primal ground is beneath the villa now? Does it have an eye in its leg? Now this is a climax. I knew the Dark Dragon thing felt a little premature and, like, weird. It's a giant egg.
Check that out!
Huh. Sure is something.
Well, how about that?
So, the beginning of the end, is it?
Deja vu.
The Grawl of Erebos. Just as the Black Records foretold.
The crypt where the great power will be reborn.
Reen. Eustace.
Couldn't have guessed this is how my day would turn out when I woke up this morning.
Let us begin. It is time. Chief of the Gnomes and head of the workshop, show me the way, Black Alberic.
As you wish, my lord.
I was looking at him like, is this some sort of reveal like I've met him a bunch of times? But I don't think it is. It's just showing us who he is. Are they just setting up a defensive line for when we inevitably show up? Do I have to go through every single one? I mean, we're still not strong enough to fight McBurn at full power, I don't think.
Rufus. Millium.
Was that... Allie?
Yes. But why?
Boss, Zeno, and Leo.
Azure Siegfried.
And that guy in the lab coat. Isn't that...
The blazing demon and the fool were there as well.
So that's the maiden.
Why? We just spoke this morning and... What's going on?
Lisa.
That man's name was Lumen or something like that, right? His hair looked different.
Oh, was that Professor Lugman? I couldn't remember what Lugman looked like, so I was like...
Franz Lumen.
Lumen, whatever.
The first disciple of G. Schmidt, and the deceased husband of the Reinford Group's chairman. Also known as Franz Reinford.
What?
Ah. So he has been lurking in the shadows these past 20 years.
What?
Yes. Perhaps for the sake of working with the Chancellor to engineer this very moment.
What about the part where Sharon killed him?
Elisa.
Snap out of it! Now's not the time! As a bracer, I can't just sit here and let them pull off whatever that Twilight crap is they're planning.
Also, what was like the end goal? Like, say they do this, then what? Like, what is it? What is the end goal?
How about all of you?
Is it just for a chance to take the power of the Septarion and that's it? Or was there something else? I'm like losing
She's
track.
right. We can't stop here.
I am losing track. My brain has had a long day.
We gathered together to do whatever we could to help. Our goal remains unchanged.
Yep, true.
Also, when I said this was going to be an hour long, we're currently like 45 minutes in. So I wasn't kidding.
Lisa, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, Vita, what will you do now?
Also, why does one guy have to have 3 full-blown names?
Well, I'd like to charge in there alongside the rest of you, mostly out of spite. Unfortunately, I suspect things won't be quite that easy.
What do you...
Something's...
There's a turbulent swirl in the mana.
Was that?
I believe so.
Sir Lysander, Sir Gaius, cryptids and magic knights have appeared all over the city.
Alright. I was thinking of proceeding and then saving, but I have no idea how long it'll be until I gain control to save again. And I would like to end for the night. My brain is just melting. I did a ton of raiding in Final Fantasy XIV today. And that hurt my brain for a while. And now I have this massive info dump. And a bunch of reveals of stuff. And I'm just like... I need to do something brainless for the rest of the night. So, if you enjoyed your time here, feel free to follow if you've not done so already. But until next time, thanks for hanging out.